This year's honoree, Mariella Paulino, has impacted change wherever she goes, in the classroom, in the workplace, and beyond. And from what I hear, she always does this with a smile. When I started out, remember this is Ruth, there was no Americans with Disabilities Act. Mariella, you are working in a time when the ADA does fortunately exist. But we need advocates like you to bring the ADA to life. You've helped people understand the meaning and benefits of reasonable accommodations. And you've shown by example that people with hearing loss are limited only by the misperceptions and prejudices of others. How I wish your middle school teacher who had you pegged for flipping burgers at McDonald's could see you now. I wish you great success and look forward to hearing more about your advocacy work and achievements in the future. Mariella, please join me on the podium. So many of us here have known you for a very long time and have been inspired by your accomplishments. And we have to embarrass her a little bit. Today is her birthday. So first, happy birthday. And on behalf of CHC, I'm honored to present you with the Ruth R Advocacy Award.
Okay. Hi everyone. I came in from DC last night and the coffee is kind of actually kicking in. So that's awesome. So my name is Mariella Paulino and I am honored to be here with all of you this afternoon. My story became intertwined with the Center for Hearing and Communications when I was 8 years old and I arrived to New York City from the Dominican Republic. 7 months later, I was diagnosed with meningitis, a disease that left me deaf in both ears. After I had my cochlear implant surgery, I learned Spanish, then English as a second language. Some of you in this room already know my story and the impact my hearing loss has had on my life. Nonetheless, it was here at the Center for Hearing and Communications that I was able to bounce back. This organization prepared the blueprint to help me succeed. Almost 2 decades later, I am who I am today because of the advocacy and efforts of people like you. My earliest memory related to advocacy involves Rosemary Rose, who used to work here and who I know only as Rose. Rose had been called to my school because a teacher had refused to wear the FM unit because she was uncomfortable about having a device around her neck. Back in the day, the FM unit used to be something that went around your ear, kind of like you were a coach and you had like this big thing. She didn't want to use it because she was really uncomfortable. Anyway, I was going to get penalized for not completing a verbal assignment despite the fact that I hadn't heard the assignment because the teacher didn't use the FM unit. For me, when teachers accommodated my hearing loss in the classroom so that I could participate, sometimes I felt like they were doing me a favor. To Rose, reasonable accommodations were not a favor, but a legal right protected under the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990. Rose knew my legal rights, and she did everything in her power to fight for me. Rose was the first exposure my family had to advocacy for my hearing loss. Later, when I was in high school and the time came to apply for college, I had my mind set on New York University. There was something about the campus, the name, the prestige. I told my mom, that's where I'm going. I had the grades and I had the SAT score. And I went to my guidance counselor and I told her, that's where I'm going. Her answer was, Mariella, these schools probably have never had someone with hearing loss. Have you thought about lowering your expectations? You may not succeed in a school like NYU. Through that, there was Linda Kessler. Linda is a speech pathologist here at the Center for Hearing and Communication. I remember one particular afternoon, Linda called that guidance counselor and she said, Mariella is as capable as every other student in your class. And Linda believed that statement, so much so that I started to believe it as well. When other people doubted my ability to go out into the world and do, there was Linda, setting a standard of high expectations that challenged me and forced me to redefine what it means to be deaf. I have always had the support of my family, but there was and is something different about Linda. The first day I met Linda, to be honest, she corrected me mercilessly about my TH sound. She placed my hand in front of her mouth. Think, thought. Before I left, she had made a 3-page list of things we, meaning I, had to work on. I knew she was going to be tough as nails. One of the many idioms we covered when we were taking class. That was the day I decided I was never coming back to the Center for Hearing and Communication. But my mom said, no, you're going. And Mom, I'm really grateful for that. My mom, for some reason, is always right. I hate it. And Linda was, and still is, tough on me. She doesn't give me a 3-page of things I need to work on anymore. We are down to a page and a half. It's progress. She didn't treat me as if I was different. She had high expectations for my speech, for my writing, for my grammar, for me. I wanted to improve my English. I wanted to reach the standard Linda has set for me. I began reading more. I began speaking English at home. I slowly began to have more confidence in myself and in my ability to speak English and move independently in the world. Being deaf and using a cochlear implant means that a person can live a full life as an active participant of the healing world. This speech is a little different from those in the past. It's about me saying thank you. Thank you to the speech pathologists, the hearing service providers, the donors, and the healthcare providers that work every day to advocate for people like me. Your work, commitment, and investment in the mission of this organization makes a tangible difference in someone's tomorrow. Today, as I stand before you, I am also celebrating my 27th birthday. As I reflect, I celebrate the completion of my bachelor's from NYU, my master's from Georgetown University, a full-time position with a tech organization in Washington, D.C. More than anything, I celebrate my independence and an ability to live in a world without limits. Currently, I am working on developing an organization called Project Hearing, where I am working to create a community for hard of hearing people to learn how to self-advocate. I stand before you and I celebrate a long list of accomplishments and achievements that would have been impossible without you. How far I have come and have yet to go is testament to the way we can work together to create incredible stories. For what today marks 2 decades of work, thank you.